Coming up, if one senator has his way, medical certificate reform will be law next year. A new way to do a heads-up display for general aviation. A look at an EAA pioneer and the end of an Oshkosh institution. AOPA Live This week from AirVenture at Oshkosh starts in just a moment.
From your first skyward glance, the dream of flight compelled you. And from your first glimpse of a Cirrus, you realized that dream had a name. Cirrus Aircraft. Go where you've never been before.
We are making this, the third-class certificate, a part of the Pilot's Bill of Rights #2, because we know that's going to pass.
The FAA says they're working on third-class medical reform, but that's not good enough for Senator Inhofe. Hello, everyone, and welcome to AOPA Live This week. This is our third show from AirVenture 2014 from Oshkosh. More than 5,000 pilots have already signed our petition to do away with the requirement for private pilots to have a medical certificate. Senator James Inhofe added his name here at Oshkosh, but as he told AOPA President Mark Baker, medical certificate reform will be part of the Pilot's Bill of Rights too. That legislation also will fix some other injustices pilots have suffered for years.
We have put these safeguards in there. I've got a list of them that we had in the Pilot's Bill of Rights 1, and since they're not cooperating in some areas, those are all being taken care of in what we're going to have in the Pilot's Bill of Rights 2. The Border Patrol, for example, they have gotten to the point where they're stopping people, general aviation pilots, for long periods of time, some of them 2 or 3 days, when someone's on the way to a vacation. We now have in the Pilot's Bill of Rights, there has to be probable cause.
And you'll be able to watch Mark's full interview with Senator Inhofe on AOPALive.org. Mooney is back. The first airplane to roll out of the reactivated Kerrville factory met up with its new owner here at Oshkosh. The company is manufacturing the 310 horsepower Ovation 3 model, along with the fire-breathing Acclaim. Some 14 new Mooneys have been ordered in the United States and another 10 in China. It's a product that must be seen, or experienced rather, to fully appreciate. Aero Glass works with Google Glass or Epson Glass to put you inside a virtual world of information. AOPA's Ian Twombly checked him out.
The future is here, and it was designed by Akos Maroy.
AeroGlass is a full augmented reality aviation navigation application. It allows you to look around in 360 degrees and naturally see information on top of reality.
Information like heading, altitude and airspeed, or terrain, maps and ADS-B traffic, airspace boundaries, airways and highway in the sky. Putting on AeroGlass is essentially like living inside of a real-life glass cockpit display.
So for example, if you're looking towards an airport or a navigation point, we can put a label right on top of that particular navigation point, even if you don't see it, because it's just too far or because it's covered with IMC conditions through clouds.
AeroGlass is wowing crowds at AirVenture.
It's clear pilots of all stripes are fascinated by the technology, but how does it really work?
The app runs on Epson or Google Glass. Its ADAHRS data is driven by a Level Technologies iLevel.
The iLevel, it's the gyros with incredible reliability. It sends pitch and roll information, heading information. It has a WAS GPS, so it's much more reliable than the sensors on the Epson glasses.
We believe that this is a standalone product. It's not connected to the aircraft in any way. We believe that it doesn't require certification.
The company is planning to get the product certified in the future to open up other markets. Ian Twombly, AOPA Live.
Thanks, Ian. Looks like amazing technology. The company offered 200 beta testers positions. The commercial product will go on sale later this year. Well, another technology, Bluetooth, and the proliferation of iPads and other tablets in the cockpit have many companies like MyGoFlight working to develop head-up displays for general aviation. Charlie Snyder, CEO of MyGoFlight, showed us a very early stage prototype of what will be known as the MGF HUD.
Technology is not new. It's been around in the military for a very long time. It's been in the purview of large commercial aircraft, airliners, and very large commercial business jets. The price tag of that, though, is $100,000 plus, maybe $150,000 installed. So our goal is to make a more readily available device that takes advantage of today's technologies in miniature projectors and faster computers and the like to help bring this to many more people in the flying world.
HUD units available today cost about $150,000 installed. The initial price of the MGF HUD is expected to be under $10,000. Well, there are some unique things to see and do here at AirVenture, and our Paul Moses has been checking them out. And while he says that planes are great, he says it's the people who make this place memorable.
Time and technology have a way of catching up and even passing most of us, but not 83-year-old Jerry Slers. And that's a good thing. You see, Jerry is a one-of-a-kind one-man band. He doesn't need all the fancy whiz-bang technology to deliver his floor-slipping, ceiling-kicking polkas and waltzes.
See the people go out dancing in the asphalt over there. He does a great job. He's an inventive guy. He's a musical genius. He's just a part of the heart and soul of this show.
Jerry holds down his corner of AirVenture by giving flight to the soul. He's been doing so for 28 years, with the most eclectic collection of chords and connections that make beautiful music to the ear.
I've been coming up here since 1982, and I think I've seen him every year he's been here, and this is one reason I show up, just to see him.
It was Paul Poberezny himself who first brought him here, and he's been coming back ever since. Turning down Leno, this former farmer's built gadgets galore with his plethora of parts that might make all others wince.
That's the keyboard activated on the bottom, and then I got a module here that operates the voices. The other one here, I got the trumpet. The other one is a tuba. The other one is a...
You don't find polka one-man bands anywhere. This is it. This is part of Oshkosh. This is Wisconsin.
You can't help but smile because Jerry is providing a real piece of Americana, and even after he's gone and no longer here at Oshkosh every year, and we all hope that's years down the road, his music will live on because he's got cassettes, and over time he's moved into CDs.
If you tell people what you see here, they don't believe it. He needs a video. You can buy the CDs, but it doesn't come close to describing the equipment and the amount of time and effort and so forth he put into this.
And when I'm done with this, it's got to go in the dump because nobody will be able to put this together. Plug it in wrong, it's just going to smoke. Literally.
And did he tell you, you know, he's got a ramp built. He loads it in the back of the van. He don't even take it apart because he probably couldn't figure it out himself.
It's great.
And the people that watch him get a lot of enjoyment, don't
Everybody here claps their hands, stamps their feet. It's just great. It's super. I love it. I'll miss him.
Yeah. Miss him because Jerry says this will likely be his final year. His backups have bounced to the beat in time with his feet. It just can't go on forever. Although we all wish it could.
A lot of people tell me all the stuff that I have here I can do with one keyboard, and that's true. But what would people view?
What do you want people to remember about you as the years go by?
They'll do it with them CDs. Yeah.
Live forever.
Yeah.
Paul Moses, AOPA Live.
Hey, alrighty, okay.
We do run into all kinds around the show. Coming up, spreading the love while building time, and a look back with an EAA pioneer.
Will you give wings to preserve the future of aviation? Donating an aircraft to the AOPA Foundation is easy. It's tax deductible. And above all, it gives wings to aviation's future.
Welcome back. You're watching AOPA Live this week, coming to you from AirVenture 2014. 6 young pilots have an amazing story to tell. The Cessna Discover Flying Challenge sends them out in brand new airplanes to spread the love of GA. They spend the summer flying 172s, ending here in Oshkosh. Flying may be finished for the summer, but the memories, they'll last forever.
Call them the Cessna 6. In
Enthusiastic young pilots that spent their summer traveling airfield to airfield, winners of Cessna's Discover Flying Challenge.
When I first heard about it, I didn't even think it was real. I thought that's, a joke. They don't really give you an airplane. So to be handed the keys to a brand new airplane and told, just go for it, was pretty spectacular.
They flew brand new Cessna 172s with Garmin glass and all the other bells and whistles. Between the 6 of them, they logged more than 700 flight hours and split up the country with 2 planes per region in the West, the Midwest, and the East. Former Young Eagles pilot Julia Hamlin made the cut. She fell in love with aviation at Oshkosh when she was only 8 years old. This summer, she helped spread that love to others.
I did feel like kind of a pull towards the younger women that I was able to give discovery flights to. And I was able to give flights to a handful of high school aged girls considering careers in aviation, which was great because I was in that position once, and all it takes is a little nudge from somebody who you look up to.
People we can reach out to in headquarters, but at the end of the day, you wake up in the morning and you make the decisions on where I'm going to go, how I'm going to do it, and you have to be safe about that, responsible.
And not just for the flying. On top of the tours, each had to coordinate static displays, keeping things clean, and managing social media that publicized their journey.
I don't know if it's because of their age or because if somebody handed you the keys to a brand new airplane and said your gas is paid for the summer, go fly, that enthusiasm leaks out over everybody that they go see, and it's really infectious, and that's what we're after.
To be able to see their eyes light up when they see a new plane and bring that experience most people don't really get if they have to go get a flight on their own. So to bring that to them and be able to take them for a flight was pretty spectacular. And so to just see that kind of encouragement in the general public, that's a great thing to take away from this.
So what did you do this summer? Warren Morningstar, AOPA Live.
Pilots flew a total of 700 hours this summer. Pretty cool way to build time. Earning a pilot certificate grants you the freedom that others can only dream of. Able Flight is a program that gives that freedom to those who need it the most.
It's a big deal to earn your wings, and it's even bigger when flying offers you far more freedom than your earthbound body will.
I tried a couple of years ago to start to get my private license, but because of my disability, I wasn't really able to use the rudder and brake pedals.
Ellen Howards didn't give up.
And I found Able Flight Scholarship, which I think is the only one of its type. It's fabulous.
Ellen has trouble walking, but you should see her fly. She earned her sport pilot certificate through Able Flight. AOPA sponsored her scholarship. President and CEO Mark Baker had the honor of penning her wings. Ellen is one of a handful of new pilots from the Able Flight program, honored on the main stage at AirVenture. Charles Stites is the Able Flight Executive Director.
Our pilots discover something about themselves in this process, and to me that makes them inspirational of what they've accomplished through their hard work and this challenge they face. But what they discover is that they're capable of maybe way more than they had thought, or that other people were telling them they were capable of.
You know, I was singing to myself at 4 in the morning the day of my exam, this is going to be the best day of your life. I won't sing it on camera, but yeah, I don't want to say it's a miracle, but pretty close.
Paul Harrop, AOPA Live.
Thanks, Paul. It's an amazing organization. You can find out more about Able Flight at ableflight.org. Now, here's a question. Would your darling spouse let you spend your anniversary at AirVenture? How about your 50th anniversary? We caught up with a couple that has celebrated every anniversary since 1970 here at Oshkosh.
This is an airplane that lands on the water. Oh, you know? Okay, okay.
There are many traditions that come with decades of AirVenture, but few are as special as Karen and Don Swanson's. A lot of their family memories are made here, and their son and 2 daughters say they are some of their best.
We love Oshkosh!
We all make it here each year. It's a great family gathering time.
Even before my dad retired, he worked all the time, but we knew that we were guaranteed 1 week, and that 1 week was to come to Oshkosh. So it's our favorite family tradition in the world because we know that it's Dad's favorite week of the world too, so we can just all have a good time.
They're what life's all about, as grandkids.
Now it's their 2 grandchildren that add to Karen and Don's joy. They love aviation.
They love airplanes and they love Oshkosh, and they just really have a good time when they're here. And they get to see the kids that they see like once a year, but they always, it's just like old home week when they get together.
Most of it's the camaraderie of us all getting together for a week. That's the fun part.
So the tradition continues.
Does this look like Dusty?
He's orange.
Oh, Dusty was orange, okay.
And the standard has been set high. In fact,
Kind of the running joke that when we started dating somebody that they had to pass the real test, and that's if they could make it at Oshkosh and if they enjoyed it. So my husband now has been coming as long as we've been together as well. So, since Oshkosh is all about family for us, it's very fitting that my parents' anniversary is that we can all celebrate that together here too.
Warren Morningstar, AOPA Live.
What a great family tradition. Don has owned 18 airplanes over the years, but he says his grandchildren have become the love of their lives now. This is, of course, the first AirVenture since the passing of EAA founder Paul Poberezny. But his spirit lives on in the volunteers and this wonderful exhibit in one of EA's buildings here on site. Of course, Paul started EAA with about 35 members back in 1953, more than 175,000 members today, many of whom are here and have a chance to sign this wall, which will be displayed in EA's museum. Now, Oshkosh wouldn't be what it is today without the trailblazing pioneers who started EA years ago. As the years have passed, fewer of them are still with us, but even with the thousands who are here this year, Paul Moses was able to track down one of the surviving of the first 100 members. Among other things, they chatted about the general aviation past and what it's going to be in the future.
You know, you never know who you'll find walking the miles of flight line and acre upon acre of aircraft parking here at Oshkosh.
What were the wooden braces there for, Bob?
Exterior ribs.
Oh, exterior ribs for the
gas tanks up there. No room for ribs.
put them on the underneath.
Vintage aircraft are rare, but finding vintage pilots who can still hoof it around the North 40, rarer still.
Meet Bob Bushby, EAA member number 26. Said he would have been among the first 10 if he'd raised his hand a little faster.
I had been selling kits for the Midget Mustang way back in the 40s. So Paul Poberezny stopped in to solicit my activity with the EAA. He said he was going to start an organization for us home builders.
Bob says he had to borrow the $5 to join. Since then, he sold thousands of the Midget Mustang kits he designed. Today, though, he doesn't get around quite as fast as he used to. But at 88, he still loves to get up close and personal with the planes others bring to general aviation's Mecca here in Oshkosh. Although, he'll polish anything he touches with the love of a craftsman. Having built 4 and owned 38 airplanes himself over his years, Bob's still flying and amazed by the size of AirVenture today.
This is fantastic what it is today. I thought our 12 airplanes at the first one was pretty good.
It's a little bigger than that, isn't it?
It's went wild, yeah.
And you won't find a bigger advocate for general aviation.
I always tell them it's the greatest hobby there is. I don't know, I got friends sitting out there in that stupid 55-foot cabin cruiser in Lake Michigan, and all they can do is drink beer.
You can see the world.
Right, yeah.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it, Bob. Very nice meeting you.
And with that, it was time to move on. Don't know if we'll run into any more living legends, but more planes and people to see. Paul Moses, AOPA Live.
Bob says his cardiologist says he shouldn't still be here, but he claims walking the flight line here at Oshkosh is the best exercise he can get. And that does it for us from AirVenture for this year. As always, an amazing, emotional, and even overwhelming experience. Even with 3 shows, we couldn't even begin to cover the event. We have a lot more from Oshkosh on our website, aopa.org. We're back in Frederick next week, August 16th. We hope to see many of you at the AOPA Regional Fly-In at Spokane, Washington. I'm Tom Haynes. Thanks for watching AOPA Live This Week.